All right, now it is time for book chat, and we have an author of children's picture storybooks and the CEO of Books by Emo, Olayemi Ejemai. She is also a fellow of the Association of Chartered Accountants. Good morning, and it's good to have you on the show.
Hey, good morning, Tope. Thank you for having me this beautiful morning.
Yes, I'm really excited to talk to you about your books. I mean, prior to when we came on air, I was already telling you how I felt about the books. To be honest, when I got the books, I'm just like, okay. And then when I did read this one, I almost couldn't relate because I don't have siblings, but it was an interesting read. And I liked the pictures.
Yes.
I feel like for kids, it's very important that they have, you know how their attention span can be really short.
True.
So they have pictures that keeps them going, that shows them a clear picture of what they're reading.
Yes.
So they know that, okay. And you kept the words very short and precise.
Yes.
Because, I mean, if we adults have such a short attention span, how much more children? But I really like to talk about My Dad is a Superhero, because
everyone's favorite.
This got me. And so after I read this, I'm just like, okay, I'm sure this will just be just like the other one. I'm sorry, my reviews are quite honest.
It's okay. It's okay.
And this really hits me. It really hits me because I felt like I was reading it and I'm like, this is weird in a good weird, because this was my life growing up.
Oh my God.
And I didn't think anybody was going to. It felt like you're putting a story of my life to put it into pictures. And I mean, it did make me feel like I had such a privileged childhood that I never thought I did. But saying this and putting this into pictures and words, I feel like every dad or every to-be dad should have this, because it's like a fundamental or a base. I don't know how to explain it. It's the foundation.
Absolutely.
Yes, a foundation. Of what fathers should do.
Absolutely.
It's beyond providing. It's beyond dropping money. It's actually being involved in your child's life. There was this one that really got me when you wrote that my dad ensures that I'm safe.
Yes.
That's when
with a touch like a knife.
Yeah, this one so strong. It keeps mommy and me safe with the flashlight.
Absolutely.
This is a total representation of who my granddad was.
Oh, aren't you so lucky?
So
Truly.
tell me, what inspired this? What brought about the stories?
You've said so many points that actually hit the nail on the head. My books depict our reality. You know, I always tell people that it's our responsibility to put our culture in the book for our children to see.
Yeah.
You don't want your black child or an African child picking up a beautiful storybook that the lead people there are white, with white people hair and white people culture. We don't want that. We want beautiful pictures that replicate our own culture, that we can introduce to our children when they are young. So this allows them to love and accept themselves. That's one aspect of the book. The other aspect of the book is the fact that how often do we celebrate our fathers? Not so often.
Yeah.
How often do we show their soft and emotional side? Not so often.
True.
But fathers do. They do show that side.
Yes.
When you see fathers at home, they're not the same people you meet when they are hustling.
Yes, no, they aren't.
You know, one part of the book says, I always wrestle with my dad, sister, brother.
Yes.
I always wrestle with my dad, and we win. You can't wrestle with your father and win. You know, and so it's something that happens in our household that we try to put in the books so that parents and children can see themselves, see their reality in the book. And you made a very fundamental point. Not all fathers do this, but of course it is the barest minimum that we expect fathers to do, not just provide financially, but emotional support and being physically present. So if a father picks up the book, you'd expect that, okay, I don't do this, I can start doing this, or I do this, it's a good thing to do. You know, so we're celebrating fathers, we're showing the emotional aspect of fathers, and we're saying that this happens in our culture, and there's an aspect of fatherhood that we want to portray, that we want to push, and that we want to encourage.
Yeah, and I think it's very important because of how there's a narrative that goes out of how fathers just need to be strong, just need to be emotionally unavailable.
True.
And I think it's a good time for this to be out so that men who are intending fathers and who are early fathers can learn that they need to be emotionally available. And
did you see where the father was actually crying?
When
he was carrying his baby?
When the baby was born.
That's a common thing that happens with new fathers. The very first child, they are there, they're involved, and they're so consumed with the emotion. Nobody sees that. But in the book, it's right there.
Now let's move to sister, brother. Yesterday, I and my colleagues were talking about sibling rivalry, and I was so happy because when I read this, there was no there was no point that suggested that this sibling is better than that sibling. And I think it's so important because unconsciously some parents choose their favorites. And the other child notices and starts to feel less of themselves and starts to underperform because they already feel like daddy already loves my sister more than me.
Am I trying?
Yeah, so let's talk about sister, sister, brother.
Sister, sister, brother.
Yes. So yeah, so what inspired this? I mean, we've gotten this. What inspired sister,
Sibling rivalry.
Yeah.
You know, when you're growing up with your siblings, we were 5, 6 growing up. My eldest sister was always away in boarding house.
Okay.
And so there was always those moments where we're at each other's throats. I have 3 kids, actually, and I have a sister, sister, brother. And so you actually see it play out.
Yeah.
But somewhere in your mind, of course, let's not kid ourselves. We all have our favorites.
Yes, we do.
All right. But my mother always says, Olayemi, you don't compare children. You let them all thrive individually.
Yeah.
And of course, if you really look at a child or look at your children, you will see that one person's strength is the other person's weakness, and vice versa. So there's really no need comparing them.
Yes.
So the idea is to always push for the love to supersede the differences, always push for the blood to supersede the rivalry. Because at the end of the day, I tell my daughters that, because my son is special, all right? So I tell my daughters that you already have work cut out for you. Your brother has Down syndrome. That's enough to keep you guys alert. You can't go at each other's throats. Apart from that, the world is going to rip you apart. So why not stay strong together? You know, so we need siblings to understand that truly
before I forget, and before we go all in, you're launching your books soon.
Yes,
yes. Tell us a bit about that.
Okay, come February 27th, I'm going to be launching 8 of my books, 8 new books, yes. It was supposed to happen pre-COVID, but now that things are settling, of course, it's still under very tight supervision because we are very limited. It's a private event now.
Okay, where's it going to be, though?
It's going to be at the Q, that's Simi Johnson Crescent in Victoria Island. Yes, we have about 30 seats because it's really private because of COVID-19. And we're just trying to, World Book Day is coming around, March 5th. So we're trying to, you know, tie the whole event into World Book Day, into encouraging little children to read. You said something about the pictures. That is just it. You seem to, we seem to be telepathic.
But I'm sure you are definitely showing your stories forward. And then we do wish you all the best at the book launch. And we are sure that the details for purchasing the book would be available. We'll definitely drop it on our social media pages. Now, if you're a parent out there, you definitely want to grab a copy of one of her books or all of her books to educate, entertain, and inform your kids. So much more is happening on the Wake Up Nigeria. Do not go anywhere.